Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to a new video for 4.1 Lewis structure. And in this video, what we're going to do is actually we're going to draw the Lewis structure of covalent species with single, double, and triple bond. So previously we have only looked for the case of fluorine, oxygen, and nitrogen, and the diatomic molecule. So right now we're going to look into detail to more example of our covalent species. So on your notes, it will be on page 5. Okay, so here is actually how to draw the Lewis structure. Okay, so here is actually the 5 easy steps. Okay, it seems a lot, but then to draw the Lewis structure itself is actually very important. You're gonna learn in 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. So makin lama nanti, I think it is very easy for you. So it just needs a lot of exercises lah. Okay, so let's look here. Okay, so the first one, it mentioned that count the total number of valence electron in the molecule. So actually here is all the electronic configuration. Okay, again, you don't have to memorize it. It's actually based on your list of constant, the number of proton. Here I have written it down beforehand. Okay, so first one is actually count the total number of valence electron in the molecule. Okay, so for the first case here, what we have is our CH4. So for the case of we have our carbon and hydrogen. So for our carbon, here is our valence electron lah. Oh, can't see it clearly. I'm gonna use this color lah. Okay. So here is actually our valence electron. So for the carbon, the valence electron is actually 4. Okay, so for the carbon, we have 4 electron. Okay, and then we have hydrogen. Hydrogen only one of our valence electron. But then I'm gonna draw is hydrogen. Okay, but we have 4 of our hydrogen, so we have to multiply by 4. So the total of the hydrogen is 4 electron. Okay. So next is actually determine the central atom, where the central atom must be the least electronegative element and it would never be hydrogen. So since the hydrogen is not it can't be the central, so carbon ni lah adalah central kita. So what does it mean by the central? Central tu it means the center, tengah-tengah. Okay, so here I'm just going to draw tengah-tengah ni, carbon. Okay. And then here it mentioned draw a skeleton for the molecule which connects all atoms using only single bond. Okay, so we have 4 hydrogen kan? So I'm just going to draw 4 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it mentioned that, dia kata dekat sini, connect all the atom using only single bond. Okay, so single bond dia 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so now it mentioned, so for each of the one bond, it contains 2 electrons itself. So dekat sini, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 electron. So tadi kita, kat sini stop tengah-tengah. So our total electron is 8 electron kan? Okay. And then we have used all the electrons. So for each of the single bond ni, it has 2 electron times 4. So we have 8 electron. So how many electron left? So minus 8 electron, 0. So 0 electron. Okay. So here is actually the Lewis structure of CH4. Dah siap. Tapi dekat sini check je lah number 4 and 5. Complete dot end octet for all terminal except hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen it want to achieve duplet kan? So duplet means 2 electron. Hydrogen ni memang each of it memang already achieve 2 electron, and then we have 0 kan? We have 0 electron left, so we cannot add anything. And then kita check if the central atom is octet. So carbon ni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it will achieve octet. So this is the Lewis structure for CH4. Next example, let's look for the case of ammonia, NH3. Okay, so our ammonia, NH3. So this is actually our valence. So ammonia, the valence electron is 5. Okay, and then hydrogen is, the valence electron is 1. But then again, we have 3 of our hydrogen. 3 times hydrogen, so it means we have 3 electron. So the total electron is actually 8. Okay, still 8. Okay, next is actually nak draw the Lewis structure to determine the center kan. So the central atom must be the least electronegative element, but it would never be H. So if it's not H, then it must be your N lah. So N will be in your middle here, and then we have our hydrogen. We have 3 hydrogen. 1, nak buat bawah lah. 2, 3. And then we're going to connect all the atoms using a single bond. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're going to calculate. Remember that one bond, it has 2 electrons. So 2, 4, 6. So minus 6 electron. Okay, so what we have left here is 2 electron. Okay, so what happened next? Okay, so here it mentioned that complete an octet for all terminal atom except hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen ni, it wants to achieve duplet, which is, it already achieved lah 1, 2. For each of the hydrogen ni, mari 1, 2. This hydrogen pun ada 1, 2. Okay, so next dia tanya, check if the central atom is octet. So central atom itself already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is not octet yet. But then, check. Kita kan ada lagi 2 electron kan? So, another 2 electron, another 2 electron is actually we're going to put in our central atom. So, here is our dot. So, minus 2 electron. Okay, so 0. So, finish. So, when we check back here, hydrogen achieve duplet. For our nitrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octet. Okay. So, this time around, so contohnya dalam case ni, carbon ni, kita ada, kat sini carbon ni, kita tengok carbon ada 4 bond kan. Each bond ada 3 electrons sampai octet. For the case of nitrogen ni, dia ada 3 bond, 3 single bond, and then 1 lone pair. But then when we count, memang cukup dah 8 electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, next example is H2O. Okay, H2O ni water kan? Okay. So, hydrogen, 2 of our hydrogen, 2 electron. Oxygen kita is actually, so kita tengok kat sini. So, we have 6 electron. So, total masih lagi 8. Okay. And then, which atom will be the center? Remember, it will never be hydrogen. So, dalam kes ni ada hydrogen, oksigen lah. So, oksigen lah jadi center. So, oksigen in the middle. Lepas tu kita ada hydrogen. Next, we connect it with our single bond. So, 1, 2. Okay. Remember, 1 bond, 2 electron. So, we have 2 bond. So, it means that 2 times 2 lah. So, sini 1, 2, 3, 4. So, minus 4 electron. So, what we have is another 4 more. Okay. And then, check the terminal. The terminal tu maksud dia is not our center lah. Dia kata oxygen ni center. So, this one will be our terminal. Okay. So, dekat sini, apa ni namanya? Hydrogen dah duplet. Okay. So, next, check our central atom. Central atom baru 1, 2, 3, 4. Does not achieve octet yet. It needs 4 more electron. Di sini kan ada lagi 4 more electron. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 4 electron. So, tinggal 0. Oops. Tinggal 0. Oh. Okay. So, here is actually the valence, the Lewis structure for water, H2O. Okay. Dalam kes ni, dia ada 2 single bond, tapi dia ada 2 lone pair. But then when we count the number of electron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, sampai octet. There's no problem. Okay. So, that's the example A until C. So, yang ini kita nampak semuanya single bond, reaction of a single bond. Make sure that each of the center tu must have 8 electron. So, dalam kes ni terminal kita hydrogen kan. So, hydrogen ada 2 sahajalah. If the terminal tu is besides our hydrogen, make sure it's at 8 electron. Okay. Right now, let's look for our CO2. Okay. So, what we're going to do first is actually we're going to count the total number of valence electron. First, count the total number of valence electron kan. So, carbon is actually 4. Next is actually, dia kata dekat sini, determine the central atom, which must be the least electronegative element, it will never be H. Sebelum ni memang semuanya H. But this time around, CO₂. So, which one yang akan jadi center? Sebenarnya, senang juga hint. It will never be H. Lepas tu, lagi satu, the lowest number lah. The atom with the lowest number. So, dalam kes ni, carbon ada satu saja, oksigen ada 2. So, which one yang akan jadi center is the one with the least, the lowest number lah, carbon. Center tu mestilah seorang-seorang. So, dekat sini, here is the center one. So, this is actually our carbon. Okay, so carbon. Okay, next, carbon ni adalah, what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna draw our terminal. So, ada 1, 2. Okay. Which connect all the atom using only single bond. So, 1, 2. Okay, satu single bond, ada 2 electron. So, sini 1, 2, 3, 4. So, minuskan dengan 4. Okay, lepas tu, bila 12 electron ni, next is actually, kita tengok dekat sini. Okay, ini macam banyaknya. Okay, next, before we're gonna finish up, fill up the center, it's actually complete an octet. Complete an octet for all terminal atom. So, dia kata for all terminal atom kan? So, previously, we do not have to fill up because hydrogen memang 2 electron je. Which is for the single bond lah. Tapi oksigen ni tak capai octet lagi. So, how I'm gonna do it? Oksigen ni baru ada 2 here. So, it needs 6 more. So, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same goes for this oksigen. Baru ada 2. It needs 6 more electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 6 is 12 electron. So, minus 12 electron. So, 0 valence electron. Woohoo! But then, it's not finished yet because the last part. Check if the central atom is octet. Okay, so oksigen ni memang ada octet sebab memang 8. But for this case around, carbon kita is only 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that each atom wants to achieve octet except hydrogen. So, this is actually carbon. So, what happened? Macam mana how to make it achieve octet? Yeah. Okay, make multiple bonds by changing a lone pair of the terminal atom into a bonding pair. Okay, so what happened here is actually oksigen ni first, okay, the lone pair ni will share the electron with our carbon. So, contohnya kalau kita sharekan yang ni kat sini kan. Okay, so when we check here, our oxygen itself, bila dia share, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, capai octet. So, it's fine lah. Sebab tu ada covalent bond kan, dia share. Okay, but then carbon here, baru 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to achieve octet. So, what happened next is actually, that, yang ini pula akan share dia punya electron. So, bila dia share electron dekat sini, so, I'm just going to erase it here. Okay, so check. Oksigen ni masih lagi octet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carbon ni pun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dah capai octet. So, this is actually the Lewis structure. Okay. Tapi, Miss, kenapa kena oksigen dari sini, elektron dari sini? Kenapa bukan elektron dari sini? Itu nanti we're gonna learn later during the calculation of formal charge. Jangan risau. Here, kita tengok setiap each of the atom ni dah capai octet. So, happy ending. Okay. Next, here is actually the example of our double bond. Okay, next is actually for our triple bond. Okay, so yang ini, HCN ni, mesti boleh laju lah. So, that is the calculation. Now, let's look for here. Determine the central atom, the least electronegative element, it will never be H. So, H will not be. So, between carbon dengan nitrogen, yang mana? Okay, previous example I mention yang the lowest number of atom. Itu sebenarnya paling senang lah. Tapi dalam kes ni, carbon, there's only 1, nitrogen pun only 1. So, how we gonna determine the central atom? Okay, yang kamu kena ingat yang paling senang lah sebenarnya. Yang ni. Electronegative atom, it's actually ni. Senof ni. So, electronegativity. So, again, from carbon to fluorine, here is the order of increasing electronegativity. Okay, for the central atom, it must be the least electronegative element. Sebenarnya, the least electronegative element memang yang ada is actually hydrogen. Tapi for the case of Lewis structure, dia cakap it will never be hydrogen. Cannot. Sebab kalau dia di tengah, nanti dia lebih daripada 2. So, cannot lah. Okay. So, lepas tu, what happen is that dalam kes ni is between carbon dengan nitrogen. So, bila kita tengok, alah, tu dah merah, ni merah pula. Okay, kuning, merah pun tak tahu. Okay, so carbon and nitrogen. So, the least electronegative, kan pada sini across the period increasing electronegativity. So, between carbon dengan nitrogen is more electronegative. Tapi, kita nak the least electronegative element to be the center. So, center kita dalam kes ni is actually our carbon. Okay, so dekat sini carbon tengah-tengah, hydrogen, lepas tu nitrogen. Nitrogen colour ni. Okay, so we know that is our center. Next, we're gonna make our single bond. Okay, remember each single bond 2 electron. So, minuskan 4. Sebab 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we have 6. Next is that make sure we fill up the octet for the terminal atom first. So, hydrogen memang duplet. So, when it's duplet, we don't have to add anything. Next is our nitrogen. So, nitrogen there's only 2. So, it needs 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, dekat sini minus dah 6 electron. So, jadi 0. Okay, but then check balik, electron is finished, but then check if the central atom is octet. In this case, carbon baru ada 1, 2, 3, 4. So, when it's 4, it means that the lone pair, the atom we share is lone pair. So, hydrogen there's no lone pair, kan? So, yang boleh share is only our nitrogen. So, nitrogen share kat sini. What happen is that, okay, buang ni. So, jadilah sini single bond. Daripada single bond ada double bond. Tapi, okay, nitrogen memang octet lagi. But then, carbon is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, tak cukup lagi. So, kena lagi lone pair, kena share. So, this one pula share. Bila dia dah share, ni padam. So, jadilah sini. So, check balik. Carbon ni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nitrogen pun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Masing-masing ada 8 electron. Okay. So, that is actually the Lewis structure. Okay. So, that's for the case of single dengan double bond. Here, single bond. Okay, double bond, triple bond. Kalau kamu rasa miss macam tak banyak pun soalan untuk cuba sendiri, no worries. Nanti 4.2, 4.3, kamu lukislah Lewis structure ni sampai nak muntah saja, tak nak dah lukis. Tapi sekarang ni, yang ni awal-awal ni, miss tolong banyak lah Okay, sebab dia memang ada banyak cases. Nanti kita tengok example nanti kita tengok lagi lah. Okay, the second last example that we're gonna look is actually, kali ni it's not neutral. Dia ada charge kat sini. Okay, so carbon here. Okay, so dia ada charge. What happened here? Okay, yang ni awal-awal dah lain dah. Add electron for negatively charged. In this case, we have negative 2. So bila negative 2 charge, so maknanya we have to add 2 electrons. So, total kita sekarang ni 24. Okay, 24 electron. Okay, next is the center. Okay, so again, center ni sebenarnya senang. The lowest number of atom. Dalam kes ni, C, 1 carbon, but we have 3 of our oxygen. The lowest number carbon lah. So, carbon jadi center. Okay, and then dia ada 3 oxygen. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 oxygen. Remember, 1 bond ada 2 electron. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minuskan dengan 6 electron. Okay, next, then we have 18. Okay, what happened next? It's actually, we have made the step 3. Step 4, complete an octet for all terminal. Oxygen ni, each of it must have 8 electron each kan. So, dia baru ada 2. So, it needs 6 more. So, here 6, 12, 18. Cukup tak? Cukup. Ngam-ngam. What happened next is check whether the carbon itself dah capai octet ke belum. Carbon ni baru ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, cannot lah. So, dia kenalah share. Yang ni share lah elektron dia. Tapi yang ini, Miss terus padam. Terus buat macam ni Macam ni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oksigen ni pun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so dah capai dah. Okay, but then, last but not least, kat sini ada negative 2 charge kan. So, how to make sure? Draw square bracket. Square bracket. 2 negative. Okay. So, that's for the case of CO₃ to minus. So, what is the difference? Sama juga. It's just that make sure when negatively charged, add electron. Lepas tu, square bracket, include your charge. Okay. Last example kita akan tengok is actually for a positively charged ion. Okay, so yang ni mesti boleh laju sikit. It is a positively charged, so kita have to minus lah. Next is actually determine determine the central atom. So for the central atom, the easiest one yang mana paling sikit? There's 1 of our bromine and 2 of our fluorine. Paling sikit bromine kita lah. So, bromine lah yang tengah-tengah. Connected to our fluorine. Okay. 1 bond ada 2 elektron. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minuskan dengan 4. So, jadi 16 elektron. So, next. Cukupkan terminal dulu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Minus 12 electron. Then we have 4 more. So, kat mana nak letak? 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 4. So, when we check, terminal atom octet, our central pun octet. So, bila octet, there's no need lah for you to draw double bond or triple bond. Dah memang dah capai octet, so no worries. Okay. Tapi, belum siap lagi. We have to add our positively charged. So, letaklah charge kat sini. Okay. So, that's the end of our Lewis structure for BrF₂. Okay, yang example H dengan I believe you could try yourself. Cuma yang ini bukan OCI tau. Ini adalah oksigen dengan klorin. Okay. Oksigen dengan klorin. Okay. Yang example H dengan I believe you could try yourself. So, that's the end of the drawing of Lewis structure. Lama sikit sebab kita dah tengok for the 3 cases of Lewis structure of a covalent bond. Okay.